Welcome you to the review of Battle Sisters, a small game that is a combination of the trainer and visual novel genres. Or simply speaking, an ordinary passion project from the Warhammer 40,000 universe. But before we get serious, I did some different scripts for this video and I was never happy with them. Various things have happened regarding the Warhammer community throughout 2021, and probably a lot will be going on in 2022. But the passing of time has helped me cool down. At the beginning I wanted to earn easy points for ridiculing what should be laughed at, condemning what is to be condemned, etc. But I will only say one sentence, without unnecessary humor or moralization, which will sum up this period and end the topic. I really like Warhammer Fantasy and 40,000. But I really don't like Games Workshop. And that's it for the present and probably future situations with these universes. This will allow me to keep a pure heart and a calm soul, for the time of this review, and probably a long time after it. And for those who don't know what the 40,000 universe is, imagine a more or less standard fantasy world with humans, elves and orcs. Take this template into the distant future of sci-fi. Add literally decades of developing the universe with various details or new factions. And voila, you get the universe of Warhammer 40k. Now back to the review. Ending my private crusade and introduction. Let's start with the plot. So we start our game as Abbott, who is a bit of like a drill sergeant in your army. We're assigned to a spaceship, with a special task to teach a combat nun that in addition to burning a heretic, you also need to be trained some tactics to know when to burn a heretic. And I know, dear Universe fans, a lot of things are wrong already. Feel free to comment on the inaccuracies regarding the universe or my description. And I mean it without malice or irony. I had fun when I read the theories about this game on some forum. But these were not, actually, posts but a more friendly exchange of views between the followers of Slaanesh, trying to make the details match whole thing. But let's get back to the game itself. And so time passes, in training our students some discipline and dedication. I know. Lore isn't right, we're going on. The story is simple, of course, but damn the ending perfectly reflects the atmosphere of Warhammer universe. Which of course, I will not show you. Whether the ending through it is good or bad, it's up to you. As for the graphic layer you see on the screen, after all that time, we finally have a game on this channel that bet on 3D. Although Koi Katsu was technically first, but more focused of recreating 2D style with cell shading. Battle Sisters creators have similar goal here as well. But first, a little tangent. Namely, anyone can run Honey Select 2, record a few shots and say that it is enough for a good scene. And well, he is not wrong. In theory, when creating scene, a 2D artist should remember where the source of light is, what light it is, and where to create shadows. But 3D artist does not need to know it. Although it wouldn't hurt if he knew. The fact that the entry threshold for a 2D artist is higher than that of a 3D artist. This does not mean that his work should stop with downloading the models or creating them. And our game today is a great example. Proper manipulation of shadows and light, so that the characters do not stand out in a grotesque way against the background. Plus additional enhancements of the shots. If you create 3D games, you should be proud that you know how to use Photoshop. You don't have to hide it like Instagram models. So this is why, the visuals in this production are what other 18+ games in 3D should aspire to. If you have to take a closer look at these pictures to see whether they are 2D or 3D, then, as a creator, you are on the right track. Okay, now it's time for the sound layer. Music as standard in Warhammer games, reflects the experience of being in the cosmic cathedral of death. But if you want something great as soundtrack of the Mechanicus, sorry is not there. This game is not the place for chanting in high gothic. And when it comes to the sound entertainment with well-known scenes, unfortunately, Battle Sisters has nothing to present, except maybe a slight change in tonation of the music from the church organs. So yeah, fans of the audio layers are not pampered in this production. And finally, for impatient ones, 18+ elements. As I mentioned earlier, the graphic elements are on decent level by 3D standards, but the audio pulls them down quite a bit. The scenes are also very scripted thanks to this. Thus, the advantage of 3D-based games, that is, the freedom to manipulate the scene itself, unfortunately disappears completely. The creator, in order to increase the quality of his 3D scenes, had to sacrifice what 3D is perfect for.
Ironic.
So, don't expect a huge replayability aspect from this production as well. And the gameplay itself is a simple management of the time. All we do in case of playing is manage simple activities and boost statistic bars. And yes, I know the gameplay comes very close to being a visual novel that a trained monkey can finish. However, some form of gameplay exists, so the game defends itself against cataloging it with other visual novels. Barely, but passes. And forgive me for not focusing on 18+ elements more, but here we come now to the final element, which is that this production can be finished in about an hour and a half, with the pace of Turtle.
Ooh, that's bad.
So please understand that I don't want to display too many 18+ scenes. Because I don't want to show you half of the game in this material. But you can safely entrust yourself to this production in a quiet evening. Especially since the price for this pleasure is symbolic $0. And for the rest of the world, it will be about 100 Zimbabwean dollars. So I don't see any reasons why you shouldn't check this production yourself. And now we come to the second point of the program, which I had many problems with, and it took me a while. Many of you will think now, oh, I'm not a fan of 40k Warhammer, so let me skip this game. What if I told you that the easiest way to understand a complicated universe is through 18+ content? You know, I love Frank Herbert's book Dune. It's probably in the top 3 favorite sci-fi, maybe even in top. And guess what was my first contact with this monumental universe? Yeah, I can't hide the truth. Well, in a way I could, but then I wouldn't be honest with you. So this is how I got to know the whole plot of Dune. Well, maybe there were a few plot inaccuracies here and there, compared to the book, but it's not important. Important things that please keep in mind are these two. First, I still had a great time reading Dune. And the second is that I wouldn't start reading Dune if it wasn't for this game. Well, one of my friends has now become a fan of the fantasy Warhammer thanks to the fact that I also became interested in this universe through this game. So why not give this game a chance? Or give a chance to another 18+ game from a universe you don't know? If someone liked these, insert name of any universe, so much that make a fan game about it, that means there must be something to it. And take my word for it, I am not exaggerating when I say that the greatest fans create the 18+ games. Not those who know the holy books, verse by verse. Not those who edit wiki articles. Only real heroes, who take new fans to wonderful universes, with the help of boobs and ass.
Now let's move out!
And that concludes our broadcast day.
And with this strong accent I would like to end this video. But there are still many things I would like to talk about. Namely about the state of 18+ games in Warhammer 40k. And exactly why after this review, I have literally covered all 18+ completed games from this universe. Why are there so few of them, at the moment, and other topics. But sooner I will do it in a separate video in essay form. Just like how I made Breeding Season Part 2. Or maybe I'll do it much later after a few regular reviews. You can download the game for free on the creator's Patreon. You can also check other projects they are currently working on. Link in the description. Although I would love to see you search for this game on Google by the title itself. But this time I will let go of this devilish idea. And that's all. Big Mike. See you next time.